Hello. Hi. First of all, thank you for being a very nice audience. I am Prashant. I am engineering manager here at MakeMyTrip. Sorry for letting you keep wait for a few minutes. Yeah. So, topic for today's flash talk is Copilot for front-end engineers. How many of you have used Copilot? Okay, very less, I think. And how many of you have used ChatGPT for development? I think more than Copilot. I'll not only share you the like all the features that Copilot have. I'll also do a live demonstration of the features. Right. So first of all, what is Copilot? Copilot is basically a peer AI programmer that helps you write code fast in a basically it improves your developer experience. Also, at the same time, it enhances your productivity. It has various features like auto completion, right? Inline code suggestion. Also, it helps you with your you have a lot of curious questions generally while writing the code, and you go to Stack Overflow sometimes. Sometimes you go to Google to search, right? All of these things it can answer inline to you at the same time when you are writing the code. You don't have to switch over the your terminal and your ID, right? So all those features it has. If I talk about the first feature, it is auto suggest feature, which is like a very nice feature. I'll demonstrate you right here. As you see, I just wrote a method name called const get cookie, and it is automatically giving me the basically suggestion that this method will help you in getting the cookie, right? If I press tab here, and I'm all sorted. I don't have to search on Google. I don't have to go to ChatGPT. It's all there, right? So after that, might be I want to create a method to probably set cookie also because my file name is cookie.js, right? And so it's intelligent enough and it's writing automatically a method called set cookie, right? And this also it has completely written itself. Now, if next would be most probably delete cookie, right? So if you see, it is writing that also, right? So that's how basically it's work, right? Uh, Next interesting feature is inline code suggestion. Inline code suggestion basically most of the time it helps you in writing a code from English language, right? For example, I want to create a probably a form or a prototype basically where I want to get users name, mobile number, email, right? So what I will do is I'll press Command I and I write a prompt. So if you see, it is automatically writing some code, right? And we will see if it works or not. Because it's AI, it may or may not work. Right. So I have just pasted it. As it's a client component, I have to add one more line here. Use client. Now let's see. So yeah, we have a prototype ready. I can try writing something random numbers and see. So it is saying that email address is not valid, right? So whatever we wanted, we have it. And on submit also, it is successfully showing a success message, right? So this is one another use case where you can at any point of the time tell Copilot to help with you something and it will help you, right? Next feature is Copilot chat. Like you go to Chat GPT or something to ask questions, right? You can do it within VS Code itself, right? So I'll show you some example. Let's say here we have layout.tsx file. Maybe there is a beginner who doesn't understand what is this file, right? So it can ask. So it is telling you about everything about layout.tsx file in Next.js. Similarly, let's say there is a maybe a old webpack file, right? And you want to know what is there is some key, what is that key for, right? For example, there is external key. I may or may not know what is this for in webpack, right? I can ask it what is this external key in webpack. So it not only told that, but it also responded in with the context of this code also, that we are not including it in the bundle or we are including these files in the bundle, right? So it has all the context. Similarly, there could be many questions, and it will answer you, right? Maybe how to add a new route in Next.js, right? And maybe can you explain this table RC file? Because such things we do day to day, we don't touch table RC file, right? So we might also forget that which key is forward, and it can easily explain, right? So, one new interesting addition to Copilot is Copilot commands. Earlier, there used to be a like token limit, right? It used to have context of just one file, right? But now you can ask question about your whole workspace, or maybe about might have some questions with for terminal. So I'll give you a good example here. Let's say I want to write a React hook called use click outside, right? Which will basically help me to detect a click outside of an element, right? Now I am writing it, but I have one doubt that whether someone in my team has already written on it or not, right? Because many times it happens is we duplicate the code. So before writing it, I can ask the workspace, right? Uh, is there any hook implemented to detect click outside the element? Now let's see. So as you can see, right, it pointed me to a file that yeah, there is already a written book in your code base and you can use it, right? Also, it showed me duplicacy also that there are multiple files already present. So it will obviously prevent in creating a new one, right? So similarly, we can ask a lot of terminal commands here itself and execute them also. Like a lot of times we forget. For example, I have to install NVM, right? I can ask terminal how to install NVM. So it gave me the command. If I press here, it will apply also to the terminal, right? So these are newly introduced chat commands. There are other also. We can ask something to VS Code also and to GitHub repo also, right? Now we will solve some front end related use cases using Copilot. So let's say, just give me a second. Let's say we want to build a modal component, right? And then we want to create a storybook for it also. A lot of times we as a developer build components but forget to create storybooks for or a proper documentation for later use. But this really helps, especially for the UI components. Big components, it might show some errors. We might have to work together to make it work. But if I talk about small components, right? Let's try it. I'm not sure whether it will work or not, but let's try. So it has written some code. I'm accepting that. As of now, we don't know whether it will work or not. So what I'll do is I'll tell Copilot to write story book for this. So it has given some code. Let's try it out. So yeah, storybook. I think it has created two scenarios. One, there is less content. Second, there is large content, but what we were expecting, right? So this is useful this way, right? Other scenario could be we might want to write unit test cases, right? Unit test cases, my personal experience has been for utilities, it is very good at writing unit test cases. But for large components, it will write 60-70%, but 20-30% of the effort you would have to give and debug the code, right? So let's try writing the unit test case for this method, probably, right? So let's try it out. So as we can see, it failed, right? So this is what a limitation is, right? Not everything would work as it is. You would have to give some effort, right? For example, it is saying that just give me a second. Cookie is not defined. Oh, because we don't have exported, right? So all of them have passed, but yeah, it is not 100% that they will always pass. You might have to do some for other debugging, right, to make it work. So other good use cases is, let's say this is a method, right? But there might be, let's say I'm changing it to VAX instead of let, right? In modern ES6, obviously using let is a better way to writing a code, right? So what I can tell it is to refactor the code. So if you see, it has not only just changed the where to const and basically, and also it has reduced your loops and improved the code, right? So this is how it works. This can also be used for documenting. Storybook is also one kind of documenting also. Other util methods also you can document using it. You can create types using it. You can tell it to create a API also. It will tell something in English. It will create a response, everything by itself. So these were the good things, but yeah, definitely there are limitations. Limitation is sometimes the response is not accurate. So this tool is to make your productivity better, right? Not, you cannot rely 100% that whatever code it has written can be pushed to production. You have to test it. If it is not working, you have to make it work, right? And sometimes it has understanding of your probably current file, and it doesn't understand the whole practice you are following through the workspace. And uh, whenever it will come to debugging, you will have to take efforts. It will not be probably good at debugging, and there is not guarantee of best practices. Sometimes it might give you some old piece of code, right? And you have to basically ask it that no, this is appreciated. Can we go with latest practices? So that kind of training sometimes we also have to do. So that's it from my side. Uh, you can connect with me, and you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. Let me know if anyone has any